Hey guys, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all those around the world. Welcome back to the Pokemon Night video featuring your girl Glaceon, coming at you with a master's guide for this Pokemon, in which we're going to go over the held items, the build, what type of positioning, all that sort of thing when it comes to this setup, the metals, everything when it comes to this Pokemon. Now, when it comes to held items, you can run two different variants, in which I enjoy both of them. Both of them are very consistent. You will have very, very good games with these build items set up here, depending on your playstyle. So if you like doing a lot of damage, you want to go ahead and start picking yourself up Muscle Band, Scope Lens, and Buddy Barrier. Buddy Barrier allows you to get that little bit of a shield and extra HP to stay alive in these team fights and pop these moves. Because 9 out of 10, if you're not running Buddy Barrier or Focus Band, you're going to be a sitting duck inside these team fights. When another carry jumps on your face, you have no health or survivability in that situation. Now, you can take Shell Bell, Focus Band, and Buddy Barrier. That is my second go-to build, in which you guys see in the thumbnail. There is fantastic build setup. You have so much survivability. You got cooldown reduction from Shell Bell. You get the HP back from Focus Band. You get the Buddy Barrier going off, and then you get your whatever support Pokemon is on your team out as well. You have a ridiculous amount of survivability. That's the type of setup in which I do love to run on Sylveon. When I'm taking Mystical Fire instead of the Shell Bell, it's generally Muscle Band. But at the end of the day, both build setups do quite well. When it comes to Glaceon, you can also take, like I said, this one as well for the Scope Lens and all that sort of stuff. Allows her to do a ridiculous amount of damage. We're talking consistent 100k games if you are doing well, or if you are positioning well with this Pokemon. But we're going to dive into the metals here after we break down her moveset, which moveset I would recommend for you. For those of you guys that don't know, by the way, her passive ability is kind of ridiculously hard to see when you have blue buff and icicles around you. But at the end of the day, what this ability does, it removes hindrances. So when you get affected by a hindrance, i.e. like a slow or a stun or what have you, and you immediately go invisible, become invincible, and you remove that hindrance. In other words, it doesn't affect you. On top of that, you have two different abilities here. You have Icicle Spear and Icy Wind. You want to start playing with Icicle Spear. Icicle Spear is going to be more consistent when it comes to DPS, damage overall. I'm not going to sit here and troll you and say Icy Wind is good. This ability is kind of lackluster. It's pretty garbage in my opinion. It needs to be buffed. It's a fun ability, but like Sylveon's Mystical Fire, which is phenomenal, and you guys have seen my build guides when it comes to Sylveon, you see me play the Pokemon, you know how good Mystical Fire can be. Icy Wind is like Mystical Fire, but like worse. It's not even on the same level. It's just terrible. You jump into a team fight, you auto attack a target, and then you shoot off icicles at that target as well. Sounds good, right? But think of it like the old Sylveon, where you'd pop a Mystical Fire and you would auto attack, and your Mystical Fires would not go off. At the time that happens with Icy Wind, on top of that, this ability is a single target. It does not AoE. You will be very, very bad at taking down these with Icy Wind. In a team fight, like I said, it's a single target as well. You're dashing into the fight, which you don't want to do. None of the time. Icicle Spears is just better overall. You play with Icicle Spears like you would in League of Legends as a ranged attack damage carry. You will stay on the outskirts of the fight as much as you can, unless you're trying to chase down a target. But overall, this ability will sure hit anything in the entire game. So in other words, let's say you cast Icicle Spears, go into a Hoopa portal, right? Go back to base. Your Icicle Spears will still fire off from base, hitting that target as you port back in. It's really cool. No matter what, this ability will always land. On top of that, you can hit tanks, supports, whoever you want to with this ability, and you will still be viable. You still do a lot of damage because this ability has an AoE. So in other words, when you hit Snorlax or whoever, Snorlax is generally trying to protect his carries or what have you. He's always in the middle of that team fight, so you're hitting him and everyone else around him. You will always do a lot of damage and be viable with this ability. On top of that, you have Ice Shard and Freeze Dry. Both of these abilities are super good. Freeze Dry, for example, is not very good in the early game. In the later stages of the game, this ability does a lot of DPS very quickly inside team fights. But Ice Shard, on the other hand, gives you a buff, right? Movement speed buff, and then it gives you a damage buff on your auto attacks, and it gives you 2 icicles ready to shoot. But either way, we're going to dive into this game. Hopefully you guys do enjoy it. We're going to talk about the metals right quick, and we'll hop into probably 1 or 2 games here, give or take. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Catch you guys in a minute. Let's go. Let's go ahead and go over the metals right quick for Glaceon. Today we are running nothing but special attack and movement speed. I prefer special attack and movement speed on Glaceon opposed to like special defense and defense stats. I don't feel defense and special defense is very viable on her, just because she's a burst style Pokemon who can, how you say, prolong herself in the team fights as long as she's able to position herself quite well. But at the same time, I feel like defense and special defense is more useful on support defenders opposed to all of these DPS Pokemon. You know, why wouldn't you want to be able to 1 or 2 shot an enemy carry, right? So more damage, more opportunities to 1 or 2 shot enemy carries at the end of the day. But hey, we're gonna dive into this build so I can show you guys what we're working with. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let's go. All right, guys. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to others around the world. Welcome to our very first Glaceon guide for the channel. That's not on the public test realm. This is going to be the best guide that you are going to be able to find on the YouTubes when it comes to Glaceon. I assure you, this Pokemon is super consistent, very, very good. A super hyper carry, whatever you want to call her, if you're very good with this Pokemon. Positioning is key, but let alone, you can do a lot more things than you can do with Glaceon versus other Pokemon inside these team fights. You can skirt around the team fights, you can reposition yourself with X speed, you can launch ridiculous amounts of damage. But on top of that, you can do it at a safe distance without putting yourself up into the, the center of the team fight. Now, Glaceon does have some weaknesses. She has quite a bit actually, and some Pokemon can very much like put a deficit on this Pokemon. Good Gengar players, very hard to find, I am aware, but Gengar can really hurt you. Greninja can auto attack you, crit you both times, and surf and execute your face. You got Zeraora right now in the metagame, who's very, very solid. Thankfully, he's back. He's doing a lot of damage. Other than that, Crustle, I assure you, Crustle will chunk you. You jump on his face with Ice Shard, Icicle Spear, he would just Unite move and just auto attack you to death. So you gotta be careful about certain Pokemon when it comes to positioning with Glaceon, but at the same time, if you can get yourself in a very good position and kite out these targets, you do so much burst damage. It doesn't matter who you're chasing, who you're fighting. If you position yourself well, just like this right here with the Snorlax, you do so much damage. The only reason why he stayed alive there is he had Focus Band ready to go as he was running away, and he knew it. But otherwise, Glaceon just does so much work, and it's not even funny, man. She is the best attacker in the entire game when it comes to fun factor, comes to viability, in my opinion. This is just my opinion because I love playing this Pokemon. And yes, she is my second main, my first main right now, other than Gengar, obviously. But yeah, she's moved a spot in my heart when it comes to Pokemon Unite, dude. She's ridiculously fun. Her Unite move allows you to do a lot more things than you actually realize. As soon as you pop this Unite move, guys, you can just spam Icicle Spear. You can just spam it. Just keep on firing them. As long as you're not being contested. In other words, the enemy team's not crowd controlling you or just trying to move you out of your Unite, which sometimes you might be able to get off a couple Icicle Spears within that Unite move, but 9 out of 10 you might just get one off and have to leave or die or what have you. But again, positioning will allow you to do a lot more work than you think with this Pokemon. Now, when it comes to build sets here, like I said, you can either run the Muscle Band, Scope Lens, and Buddy Barrier, or you can take the Shell Bell, Focus Band, and Buddy Barrier. The Shell Bell, Focus Band, Buddy Barrier is more for survivability, and I would advise you to take if you have a bulkier team. So we do have a Wigglytuff, a Greedent, and a Blissey here. I felt like we needed a lot more damage with this setup here, so we opted for the Scope Lens and Muscle Band here, just so we can keep up the DPS on the squad. We do have the Azumarill, who has been buffed, right? Ridiculously buffed. And at the end of the day, we're still trying to sit here and play test with the Azumarill as well. I do got to do some content on him coming up here soon. I got to check out his numbers and stuff. He looks like he does a ridiculous amount of damage now. But again, with this team composition here, I think it was better set to play with Scope Lens and Muscle Band. Now, with this setup here, you will be able to do consistently 100k DPS, 100k games, every game with Glaceon, as long as you're playing well. Most of these games that I've been playing today with Glaceon, we sitting here over 90k DPS, no problem. And that's because, again, you position yourself well in these team fights, you catch out targets, you go for whoever is in front of you. You hit that Icicle Spear button, you watch your HP melt. Doesn't matter who it is. You're always going to be viable with that ability. So keep that in mind. Opposed of taking Icy Wind. Icy Wind is going to get you killed more so than you think, because you're jumping into the middle of a team fight with Icy Winds. As an 80 carry, you don't want to just, hey guys, I'm here, focus me, and jump into the center of the fight. You don't want to do that. That's not the game plan. You want to sit here and play Icicle Spears, try to stay on the outskirts of the fights, and carry the game that way. And let your teammates, tank some damage for you, be the walls, and all that sort of stuff. Whereas right here, like, I'm playing back, but I'm also being a little bit aggressive and waiting for my team to push in with me as I'm going in with this fight here. Snorlax is back here doing Snorlax things. There's no reason to chase him down. Greedent's doing the Dreadnought right now. We killed both DPS in this team fight. Like, we're golden, right? We got this, no problem. We'll see Pop's Unite move off on me. Fantastic, by the way, because he was paying attention. We moved together. It was really, really well done. But on top of this, we do have an Azumarill as well, who does ridiculous amounts of damage when he singles out targets. Ooh, 930 auto attack. That's crazy. But when it comes to Glaceon here, you can burn down, like I said, squishy targets, generally speaking, with 1 or 2 bursts of Icicle Spears and auto attacks. It's phenomenal, especially the Decidueye. He doesn't get to live. Decidueye players, Gengar, even Greninja, they don't get to live. The hardest thing about matching up with Glaceon and Greninja, though, I will give you, as soon as he hits that smoke screen, it's very difficult to lock in an Icicle Spear. So if you don't pop Icicle Spear before he smoke screens, 9 out of 10 he's going to come out of that smoke screen, Focus Band's going to heal him up, and he's going to instantly kill you most of the time. Because he can wait out your charges as they fall off. So you also got to keep that in mind. I'm going to get myself killed here because I'm going to make a mistake. Yep. So it's too late. It was too late for me. What I should have done there was got that Corphish up there, got my Unite move, and possibly been able to take them both down. But again, I'm not 100%. It would just been better play to do that instead of walking in there and thinking they weren't paying attention. I should have got the Corphish and then United and killed them both. But everybody gets one. It is what it is. Now, when it comes to playing her, I personally enjoy having supports like Wigglytuff, Blissey, or a very competent Mamoswine or tank for myself to sit behind and get all free damage. Anybody that can stand in front of me and take a little bit of damage for me or wall off targets for me is going to allow you to carry as Glaceon. It's going to allow you to freely do damage and just carry the game. Now, again, this is a team-based game, so you can't just walk in 1v10 and just be like, okay, I did it, guys. You got to position yourself well with this Pokemon. Make sure you're in a good spot to do free damage, and watch out for Pokemon who can jump on your face. Because, like I said, Zeraora, Gengar, Greninja, all those Pokemon can give you a run for your money when it comes to playing Glaceon. It's poor Sylveon, dude. Like, what are you doing here? Look how much damage it is, guys. It really just chunks targets down. She'd be dead if it wasn't for Focus Band already. But overall, though, I'm having a lot of fun with this Pokemon, and I hope you guys can learn a thing or two from this guide, and or maybe teach me a thing or two about Glaceon, because this Pokemon is so much fun. I can't stop playing her. She is going to be my new main for the channel for a little while, at least until Umbreon comes out. But overall, we will probably dive into game number 2 here and see what we can do in that one as well. This has been Pawseplays. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Come join that Discord. Tell me I suck. Stick around for game number 2 if you want to. I will catch you guys in a minute. Let's go, boys. Alright guys, welcome back to game number 2 featuring Glaceon. Today we are playing in a 3-stack. In other words, we're playing my buddy down here, Goku, and we're playing with Oat in the top lane as he's playing on Wigglytuff. Goku's playing Zeraora here. So this might be a very difficult game because you don't really have much of a front line. Well, this is another game in which I can show you guys the viability and or strengths or weaknesses to Glaceon when you don't have front lines. So, like, you don't have those supports, you don't have those tanks, you don't have those dedicated meat shields to take damage for you. When you have a lot of DPS people on your team, which you often will have inside of a solo queue environment when you're not playing with your buddies. Now, Glaceon does a ridiculous amount of damage, right? She really does when you have a good team for her. When you don't have any walls or any people to stand in front of you to protect you or absorb some damage for you, she doesn't become very good in that mindset because you need those walls to protect you. That way you can get off a couple Icicle Spears inside these team fights. Icicle Spears, it's a single target ability until it reaches its target, and then it becomes a little bit of an AoE, and it will do more damage on targets that are around it. Now, inside these team fights, you can focus whoever you want to with Icicle Spears because you will be doing damage to everyone that you hit with this ability. And on top of that, when it comes to our composition right here, we have a Wigglytuff who is being played by my buddy here, Oat. But at the same time, we cannot be super aggressive into a Absol Sylveon. Sadly enough, in a Blissey. Just because they have a lot of sustain between these two and a lot of raw damage with Absol in play. And considering we're playing Glaceon with all, raw damage, it's very hard to protect ourselves other than Buddy Barrier. And if you Buddy Barrier too late, you don't get the usefulness of your Ignite move. If you Buddy Barrier, early enough, Absol could blow you up instantly, right? At the end of the day. Or wait out your Ignite move and just come in and clean you up. There's a lot of things you have to pay attention to. On top of that, there's a Ninetales on the top side who's coming down for this rotation, who can just freeze you in or after you hit your Unite move. Now, the best thing about it is you get your Unite at level 8. So you have the opportunity to push your Unite before the Dreadnought fight, get a couple kills before you guys even try to force the Dreadnought. But at the same time, with this team composition here with Trevenant and Blissey running around with Sylveon, they have so much sustain. So I got to play well over here at my goal pad. Just spam as many Icicle Spears as I possibly can, because I know Blissey's going to keep healing up Sylveon. There's not really much I can do here other than just wait for my team, go in a little bit and come out a little bit. Ooh, so close. Got it. We're good. Ooh, that was close, guys. Sylveon, though, is doing so much damage now with these new metals. You can just sit here and stack special attack and movement speed, and your abilities for mystical, Hyper Voice is just ridiculous now. But I don't think a lot of people know that yet, but I think she'll catch on eventually, give or take. But you see how we're playing this? We're trying to be at basically the max range when it comes to this Pokemon. That way, we're not putting ourselves in a very, very bad situation when it comes to Glaceon. But at the same time, we're able to do a ridiculous amount of damage because, hey, we're still alive, and the enemy team can't really just get onto us. They can't just jump onto us and instantly delete us because we're playing safe. But we're playing very, very aggressive. Because I will assure you, like I said, you will be doing over 100Ks, or give or take 90 to 100K every single game with this build setup here with Glaceon, as long as you guys are positioning well. And like I said, it's hard to do that, especially in solo queue environment, where you don't have any front lines, you don't have any supports, everybody and their brother wants to play DPS. So you have to be a little bit mindful where you're going to be at inside these team fights. Like right there, I was trying to pop my Unite move, but Trevenant's Unite popped me up, and it gave me that little bit I had to wait to hit my Unite. I think if we got it off a little bit earlier, we might have killed him and Absol in that situation. But that little stutter with his Unite move kind of sealed my fate. And the worst thing about that is, every time you get to pop that Unite, any Pokemon that has any sort of knockback or CC of any sort can just instantly cancel you. So let's say you're in midair and Venusaur hits you with his third boosted auto attack with Divine Whip. He can knock you out of that, and your Unite move doesn't go off. So you have to be careful on what's going on around you before you jump into a team fight and just hit the Unite button. You know what I mean? Now, Rotom is in the top side. I'm trying to farm my Unite before I walk up here with my buddy here. I think he's golden for this fight. He was, actually. And so that Pokemon did a ridiculous amount of damage. I don't know what happened there, bud. It's okay. It's all good. Look at her. Look at her go, dude. She has so much free farm in that bot lane because we weren't able to push her out. And she's able to scale quite well because it's Sylveon. When you stack these metals, when you go with all the special attack damage, you do a ridiculous amount of damage now. So, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to pick up on Sylveon just because of that. But here's a prime example of a very, very good spot to pop this Unite move. You can go ahead and start chunking targets down once you are inside your Unite move here and just spam Icicle Spears when it's off cooldown. It does so much damage. They will get the Rotom inside the goal, but we have to clean this team up here. Considering my team is pushing here, I have to be with them to actually do some DPS. I don't want to leave them back and focus on the Rotom here. Otherwise, we might not even be able to get this goal and or push them away. Looks like we won't be able to cap the goal, which is unfortunate, but we can still stay up here and support the team a little bit. That's unfortunate, considering Sylveon just instantly died. So that sucks. The fall back here, we do get the Dreadnought on the bot side because the top lane was too busy with us, which is great. Come back over here and grab our jungle buffs here, and we should be able to meet bot lane unless Goku gets killed here. Now, every single time you're doing these jungle clears, get the jungle buff to half HP, then you just pop Icicle Spear. I assure you, you will take out the jungle buff as you're walking to another Corphish or walking to the lane. You don't have to sit here and watch it die. You can just hit the button and walk away, and it should clean it up for you. We're going to go back up to the top lane here and kill this Absol because he's super overextended. Unless Cranmerritt takes me down before I get here. Yeah, he does. Good job, buddy. Cranmerritt right now also is very, very solid with the new medals and stuff that you can put on him, which is really, really good. So, I mean, hopefully we can see some more Cranmerritt as well. Not for me, just in-game. You know what I mean? Sadly enough, Trevenant's up here just chilling, hanging out on this goal for no reason whatsoever. I want to take down this Rotom if we're able to do so, but I'm going to sit here and wait for my team. If Absol walks into this bush, he is definitely dead 100% if Wigglytuff gets up here with me. Nice job. Let's do this. That was a ridiculous amount of damage, but it doesn't matter because he's dead anyway. Nice job. I got to reposition myself here. I don't want to get caught out by the Sylveon here and or a Trevenant Unite move, but I do want to be able to pop my Unite just so I can slow down some of these Pokemon and get myself a ridiculous amount of damage. We should be golden here. And this is just me spamming Icicle Spear because I popped that Unite. And if you keep in mind on where my position is in these team fights, I'm not in like the very front of the line. I'm in the back and or the middle. I'm trying to be protected as best as I can. We're going to kill him too. Sweet. I'm trying to be protected as best as I can without putting my neck out there. You know what I mean? This Zapdos should be also free because we clean up the whole enemy team here. But overall, this has been Glaceon, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two about this Pokemon. Now, this has been Pawseplays. I would like you guys to hit that like button. Come join the Discord. Tell me I suck. It is what it is. We're going to sit here and smash out some more Glaceon content. I expect to see a lot of it on the channel, because I'm very much enjoying this Pokemon. She's super fun. 1,000 damage right there, or about to be 1,100 on an auto attack. It is what it is. I will catch you guys in the very next Pokemon Unite video. Stay safe out there, and I'll see y'all later. Enjoy yourselves.
These walls fighting to create